Well, orchestral music isn't just for grown-ups anymore. A local pre-K program is putting the cello and violin into the hands of the youngest learners. Joining us to explain how the concept came to be is Amy Love, director of the Little Friends Preschool. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning, Anne. Hi.
Hi, Brian Griffin, orchestra director at Douglas Anderson School of the Arts. Hi, Brian.
Good morning.
Jackie Hagen and Misha Wickham. They're both Douglas Anderson students. Good morning, Jackie.
Hi, good morning.
And good morning, Misha.
Hi.
Thanks for being here. So, Amy, this is a fairly new program. Why did you think it would be appropriate to teach 4 and 5 year olds at this VPK orchestral instruments?
It's always been a huge passion of mine, arts and education advocacy, since I worked at the Roundabout Theater in New York. And I really just wanted to bring a preschool program and study young minds and the effects of music on those minds. And I'm studying that now in school. And I know that Brian Griffin runs one of the best orchestral programs, and he also has a string pedagogy class. And I just pitched it to him, and we've made history.
Yeah. So, is this truly like a first for this area in terms of this age group in in this demographic?
I believe so. In this area, we have found our curriculum. Actually, Mr. Griffin found the curriculum for us, and they do have young programs for preschool. But as far as North Florida, I think that we are the first.
And so, Brian, you obviously have a fabulous program at Douglas Anderson. It's recognized nationally for its excellence. But teaching 4 and 5 year olds is a whole different game. So, first of all, explain to us what the value is. I mean, what is string pedagogy? What is it that you believe in or try to do with that kind of education?
Well, I personally believe that it's really important that everyone has the opportunity to play a bowed string instrument, whether you're 3 years old or 90 years old. And so this string pedagogy class actually came about 10 years ago. I believe it's the only one of its kind in the nation because we basically, I teach the students how to play and teach violin, viola, cello, and double bass. And then they get to go during the school day to our feeder schools, La Villa, Pine Forest, Fort Caroline, and they get to apply what they learned and they get to help those kids over there. We've been doing this for about 10 years or so. And so now we're starting to see students who were taught by our students at DA who are now at Douglas Anderson and have benefited from that. So it's really like a circle of life, full circle moment that we get to experience through this class. So it's really exciting to see it. And now with what Amy has proposed, when she approached me about offering this to preschoolers, I'm like, oh gosh, we need to go to that age group because we've never done this before. I personally, I've taught elementary school, middle school, high school, but I've never taught preschoolers before. It's a whole nother ball game. And so we're actually all learning together. I'm learning next to my students, and Amy's been fantastic with helping us learn how how to relate to that age group and how to pace ourselves so that we can make sure that we're having the best impact with the students.
And I want to ask you, you said the importance of a bowed string instrument. Why, in particular, a bowed string instrument? Why is that different than picking up the recorder or playing the piano?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. Personal bias. I mean, I've been playing the violin for 42 years, so I think it's really amazing. It's perhaps the most versatile genre of instruments in the world. There are Kurds in northern Iraq that play the viola. I mean, it's everywhere. That you can look at in cultures on every continent, and you'll see symphony orchestras. You'll see them playing these instruments within their own cultures and so forth. So I think it's a very flexible genre of music to use. And for us in our community and our culture and at our school, the power of what you can do in an ensemble with a whole group of string players, and then when we add our winds and brass from our fantastic band program, it even gets even better. So it's just a really great experience. The kids learn a lot of teamwork through this because of how we've had so many composers over the centuries that have dedicated their lives to writing for this genre of music. So Beethoven, Mozart, as well as so many contemporary composers. We just actually commissioned a work by Libby Larson um, this past spring, and so we got to premiere that. So it's just a lot of exciting endless opportunities
Yeah.
to do
And
this.
Jackie, you're actually doing this in the VPK program, teaching. First of all, what has Brian taught you, Mr. Griffin, taught you that is been particularly helpful when you're dealing with these kids? And just tell us a little bit what it's like being in that classroom setting with such young children.
Well, okay, I think Mr. Griffin has done a great job teaching us kind of just like how like the basics on like how to teach. Um and we're more used to teaching at La Villa, or I did this in 10th grade as well. And I was also in 6th grade. The string pedagogy kids came in and taught us, and I just like it's a really cool like full circle moment. But I think he's done a great job just like teaching us how to just like teach and just how to be there for other people trying to learn instruments. Um, it's different, like trying to teach VPK kids because they're so little that it's just like more difficult. But
And what do you remember? I mean, so this you're kind of part of that full circle that he was
yeah,
describing. So you were one of the students of this program, and now you're teaching it. What was effective for you when you were learning? Like, did you already know how to play an instrument when those teachers were coming in from DA?
yes, I already knew how to play an instrument, but they came in and kind of just like taught us more like technique work. So like how to do vibrato or how to shift better or how to like keep in tune, really.
Mhm. And Misha, what do you think are the benefits of students teaching other students as opposed to grown-ups?
Honestly, seeing them so excited every day is honestly motivating enough for us because I feel like as musicians, especially at this level, we kind of lose track of we, we're like ourselves, like we're our own worst critics. Sorry. Um, and I think it's inspiring for us to see them so excited because I feel like sometimes we're so hard on ourselves that we lose that excitement. And it's amazing to see them every day. Like they want to show you exactly what they remembered from the last time we saw them. Like my kids are already playing on the string. They just want to go, you know what I mean? So it's really like exciting to see them so excited. And I started when I was 3, so I kind of
Wow.
remembered the excitement of it, but it's great to see them grow and to see them flourish and progress and everything. It's really rewarding.
And so, Amy, what do we know about I mean, if Misha started when she's 3, obviously she's a very skilled performer now. But what do we know about how children respond to early education in music or how it even affects their own development?
Well, the reason I was interested in this study in the first place is that my history of dyslexia and how music is used as a different way of recoding, and how young people, 1 in 6, have dyslexia, and then I just opened up the doors for all the other things. With all children, it's an IQ increase, of standardized test scores, average 100-point increase, your academic performance, social skills, emotional well-being, the creativity, the camaraderie. Um, all of these things are proponents of working in music, learning to read music. I don't know if that's like a cheesy thing to say, still the universal language,
Mm.
but you can play a sheet of music with someone from any country. And I think that's a truly beautiful thing, and not be able to, speak their language, but you can speak the language of music. And so it brings people together.
Have you seen any like measurable difference? I mean, I think this program just started in
It just
September.
started in
Yes.
September. So this is our legs out, if you will, first year, just kind of getting we do have our VPK fast test, and we have the years prior, those types of things. Next year, we also will be implementing a certain other type of IQ test. And, we'll be doing this for a few years, and giving that research its own time and space. But this is how we're, you know, getting the kinks out. How many kids per teacher? How are we going to make that work? How does that work within the curriculum of VPK? And how can we reinforce the already VPK curriculum with music? And so that's what we're working out this year, and it's going pretty well, in my opinion.
Yeah. And Brian, what changes do you think you'd expect to see? I mean, not just necessarily brain development or, measured by an IQ test, but just in terms of student engagement, parental engagement.
Well, I think nothing lights up all areas of the brain at once more than playing a bowed string instrument. I think fighter pilot is number 2, according to an old study I read in college a long time ago. Don't ask me the source, but it makes sense to me. So just having these kids engaged in this very difficult process is going to produce results. Um, but when you ask people in the work, or employers in the workplace, what are they looking for in their potential employees? People who can work together. Well, these kids are going to be they're working together. They're having to play together. Can they handle a challenging task? Well, this is a really hard thing to do. And if we have kids that are doing this with enthusiasm, um, I think the sky's the limit in terms of what we can produce. I've had the pleasure of teaching students like Jackie and Misha here, and so many others, thousands over the years, and I know the benefits of this and where it can take them, whether they go on to careers in music or engineering or business owners or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's a great program, and it's really nice to hear from all of you about it. Amy Love, Brian Griffin, Jackie Hagen, and Misha Wickman, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Thank
for
you.
having us.
All right.